Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Reyna. I do lifestyle, mindset, law school videos, and Ivy League. So I go to Harvard Law School. Let me explain some things. How you can get in, what you can do, what you need to pay attention to, how you do it, all the dirty deeds. Okay, let's talk grades, because I know that's all what you wanted to hear. Grades. In undergrad, make sure you have A's as much as possible. Make sure you have them as much as possible. If you cannot keep an A, at least keep a high B. If you can't keep a high B, go to tutoring. Go, use the resources at your school. Do what you gotta do. Grind, hustle if you want to go to law school. That's just straight up. Trying to sit here and be like, okay, we can get A's and B's and C's and D's and all make it in. No. Yes, it is possible. It's like a 50-50 chance. So don't take the chance of I'm gonna make a C and it'll be fine. Don't take the chance. Totally throwing it out there. So let's talk LSATs. Are they required? Are they not required? How do you do this? What do you do? How do you study? Okay, so in today's age, let's clarify this. We live in the 21st century. This is 2020. LSATs are not required at every college. If you are in out of the country college, out of the US, if you're out of the country, there are certain tests that you do have to take, certain tests you don't have to take, certain scores you have to have. It doesn't matter. They're not required everywhere. So let me just put that out there. Yes, they're required at Harvard. They're not required everywhere. They might not be required for certain programs. They are required for certain programs. So what happened is when I went to school, I didn't take the LSATs. I hadn't taken them. I hadn't studied for them. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I went, and unfortunately, I still had to take them. So 3 weeks later, when the next test came around, I had no choice. I can tell you something, I did not study correctly. I know how to study for it now, but I did not study correctly leading up to my test, and I can completely tell you I scraped bare minimum. 1 point. I was point shaving type of thing because of the fact that I didn't know how to study correctly for the LSATs, and I didn't know how intimidating the test was. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know anything about the test. And here's what you do. Study. In my opinion, I suggest you study for 3 to 4 days out of the week, and then the rest for at least 2 to 3 days, maybe 2-ish days. I recommend not studying on a Sunday because then you're already preparing yourself for a rough week. So take off that Sunday. I recommend that you prepare yourself for at least 3 to 4 days of studying, and then at least 2 to 3 days, depending on how much you're willing to grind, to take practice tests. Practice tests, I like the bar max test. Those are really good. Have everything on there that you need to take, and you could just go on there to click the LSATs, do whatever you want to do. That's the plan that I recommend, but I do also like the Kaplan one. It is pricey, pretty pricey. Or you can take, if your school has a Kaplan campus site, try taking a class there. It really just depends how much you're willing to work. Please study. Study, study, study. I'll tell you how to study in a different video on how I specifically would study now that I know how to do it. The thing is if you're not ready to take it, do not take it. Because some actual colleges will average out. So say you take it 4 times, they will average out all 4 times. So it could damage you in the end. I'm not even kidding. So be very, very cautious and careful when you are going to take it, because it could really damage versus help. Personal statements. Personal statements is your time to shine. This is your story. This is your time to shine. This is everything about you, the things that people want to know, everything. This is all of it. Internships, jobs, what you did, why your story, how come, if you had a rough growing up story and all of a sudden now it's I really want to make a change for the world, and you say this is where you speak your truth, and this is where you speak it all. Tell them your story. So be very cautious on what you put on here, because this I would hate to say it because it shouldn't be, but this could be a make or break for you because they want diversity. And if your story isn't, you know, as appealing as other people's story, it could tell them to be like, hey, I don't know if I want her to come here, because your story has to have, you know, a beginning, middle, end, and it has to have feeling, it has to have emotion, it has to have somebody feel. Like if they're reading it and they're just like, I feel all of it, I feel everything, I know what she went through, I can feel myself being there. That's what you want. You want somebody to automatically and emotionally feel how you felt during those times. So I would definitely explain more on how you can ace your personal statement, but that's just my tips for you. Your interview process, how it works, what you do, how you do it, how to get ready. Get ready. Because I'm not saying it could be intimidating, but it could be if you're not an interviewer person. Like you're not somebody who's, you know, an extrovert, or you're just somebody who's very, I don't like to explain myself, you know. This isn't judgment at all. It's just, this could get very intimidating if you are not a person who likes to speak up and say things. I understand that there are lawyers who are not aggressive. There are lawyers who are not, you know, loud, or they're not in the public eye. So yes, we do need lawyers who are kind of introverts. So that's definitely something that are, you know, might have them like, okay, well, tell us more. And this could be the point where it could get intimidating, is because they will ask you questions, they will ask you more, they will ask you more, and they will ask you more, and they will ask you more. So be prepared for that time. I don't know how to explain how to be prepared. It's more of like, get your emotional control ready, because I can interview, I can be in interviews, I can interview people, I can do it, but it's one of those things that aware that it's gonna happen. Like you need to be aware that somebody's about to question you for everything and anything that you have ever done, and what you have on your personal statement, what you have on your, like, why you went to fashion design and now you're coming to law school. So like those things. So for your grades, I kind of want to jump back to that. So for your grades, I want to make it very clear that in law school, having A's and B's it's a yes, that's a requirement. But if you do happen to get a C or D, it's a no. Straight up, like if you know yourself, it's going to be too hard and it's going to be too aggressive, no. Don't pressure yourself. Don't pressure yourself. Don't make it feel like, oh my God, I'm not good enough to come here. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it might not be the best option for you, is what I'm saying. So I hope these like 4 top tips did help, and I will go in detail about your personal statement in a different video, which will come out soon too. And I will kind of explain why I decided and how I decided which law school to go to. So stay tuned for those videos. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.